Hey guys, so it's not quite bedtime yet. I have to wait till 12 o'clock until I can take my antibiotic. It's called Augmentin. This cough I have still hasn't gone away, and it's about 3 months, and it's driving me crazy. It's actually kind of also making me worried. Not the doctors don't want to know what it is, and I really hope it's not something serious like lung cancer. Probably not, but if it is, then I'm pretty much dead when they diagnose it. So I'll take the time right now just to respond to this one guy's response. He made a whole gigantic essay on it, pretty much, on one of my videos about Mitt Romney and Ron Paul. I still stand with my choice, though. I just want to make clear that both those candidates, I mean, obviously they're politicians, and I don't really trust what they say. No, I mean, of course, no one trusts what they say. They're politicians, but based on the background, it just seems that Mitt Romney is going to support science more. Will he pay, fund science for scientific research? I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, with all this debt, we need someone who understands how to fix the economy first. Ron Paul knows, Mitt Romney knows, they both know, so I really don't care whoever wins. Okay, so the guy says his name is Ron Take One. It seems from his name that he might be a supporter of Ron Paul. I'm not sure, but Ron Take One sounds like he would want Ron Paul to win. Okay, so he says, whether pro-murder ought to be a law is a matter of morals too, isn't it? If so, you need another reason than the moral nature of a law to consistently reject it. Besides, you are an atheist. There are no morals in your worldview, just utilitarian. Might makes right, survival of the fittest, ethic. Feel free to correct me on this point, but please try to come up with some objective standard of ethics, rather than simply what pleases or displeases some people. Wow, this whole problem has been covered many times by many atheists that, well, first of all, okay, he says pro-murder ought to be a law, which is retarded because, well, you see, am I pro-murder? Do I like killing people? Obviously, no, I don't. And if you look in prisons, there's a high percentage that's, I don't know, was it like 90% of the prisoners were Christians? I think so. You guys look it up, but it's a pretty high percent. And saying that an atheist has no morals is a retarded idea because you don't see an atheist going killing people. You see atheists trying to save lives in most cases because what an atheist means is an atheist merely doesn't believe in a god. It means in life after life there's no life after death. Because of this, for me at least, it makes life even more precious. Why would I want to kill something that is so valuable? If a Christian, well, there's so many people sacrifice them. They're all for God. Well, from the atheist point of view, you just killed and someone who cannot be replaced. That seems like moral to me. I don't like to kill. I like to help others. I want to cure aging so that everyone can live forever. Does that seem like a good reason to be moral, I guess, for an atheist? Well, I mean, then also look in the Bible. The God of the Old Testament is a brutal killing machine. He kills trees, he kills women, he kills entire populations, he kills animals, he sacrifices them as well as just brutally destroying everything. Does that seem like a good moral to you? Do you see modern Christians killing entire races? Well, you see some that want destruction, but then you'll say perhaps that he's not a true Christian, but look in the Bible, it's right there. Now, let's see what he says next. Oh, wait, just to continue. There are no morals in your worldview, just a utilitarian. Might makes right. No, I don't care about power. Utilitarian? No. No morals in our worldview. I prefer something, morals that have been reasoned out. I don't want an absolute morality. Look at the Bible. It's a 2,000-year-old absolute morality, which isn't even absolute because it's been taken more and more as a non-literal text as it used to be. Well, what allows a person to choose which morals from the book to choose from that they want in their part of the life? That is their morality. Just because they don't want to kill someone, that's their morality. They choose not to kill someone, yet the Bible is a standard in which killing in many contexts is allowed. Now look, he says survival of the fittest, ethic. Well, survival of the fittest isn't an ethic. It's a law of reality. It's how the world works. If you don't accept it, then well, you're just denying reality. Well, let's say consider a Christian. He is competing to get into a Christian college to be a pastor. Well, that's the survival of the fittest. The one who studies the Bible the hardest will get their position. It's not just survival of the fittest. One person is going to dominate the other. Therefore, this person is evil, or this person is immoral. So it's the survival of the fittest. It's the law of the land. It's the way nature works. Right. So then he says, 4 hours ago. Let's see. No, that was 4 hours later. Well, Ron Paul wants to return the issue to the states, where his view, life, of course, will win out in many states, and lives will be saved. Ron Paul wants to return the issue to the states, where his view, life, of course, will win out in many states, and life will be saved. Okay, so he's talking about what was it? He's talking about sperm and egg fertilizing to the blastocyst, embryonic stem cell. Life will be saved. Now, I already told you guys that an embryonic stem cell isn't alive. Well, technically it's alive. It's as alive as your skin cell. Now you can convert your skin cell into a stem cell. Now, okay, tell me. Don't tell me. I'm gonna tell you how it works. Sperm cell is alive. It's a haploid cell. Egg cell is alive. It's a haploid cell. Combine them. It's alive. It's a diploid cell. Does it have nervous system? Does it have a brain? Can it feel pain? Is it any different than our skin cells and egg cells combined? It's not even. It's just it's a specialized cell that has the potential to become a human, just like our skin cells. Your skin can be turned into a stem cell, which is a potential, after a few modifications, of course, to become an identical clone of you. It's a person. It has potential. It has just as much a potential to become a person as your little blastocyst, which you call the stem cell, the embryonic stem cell. And he says to compare a fertilized egg to sperm cells or unfertilized eggs is a dubious analogy. Fertilization must happen before you have a human. No duh. The question is, what point after fertilization does the egg become a human being? The pro-choice movement has said birth, which is hardly compelling to anyone who has seen a baby in the womb. Do you know what an embryonic stem cell is? It's not a baby in the womb. It's not even a baby yet. It's so tiny, it's smaller than the dots of a period. It's just a tiny bit smaller than, it's just a tiny bit bigger than your skin cells. Like I said, there's really no difference to your skin cells to the embryonic stem cell, which is a blastocyst, other than one is undifferentiated and has the potential to become a human being. But they're both cells. They are just cells that. What do you want? What do you guys want? They are undifferentiated cells, but they're not people yet. They're just cells. Do you complain about you killing your own cells? Do you care about pinching? I just killed 100 cells. Do you care about that? These 100 cells has the potential to become 100 of me. You don't care about that. Well, it's not much any more special of a blastocyst. Alright, he says, I would like a government that protects the liberty of its citizens and punishes crime. It's not the role of government to do anything else because civil governments are not a great source of wealth, as you say. I don't say that. The state can't give anything, including research grants, to anyone, including scientists, unless it first takes it from someone else. Yeah. Same with the government, same with the federal government. If I take your wallet and promise to use the money for a good cause, does that comfort you at all? Well, first of all, you're assuming that science research is the special case, that somehow we can't give science research any money, but we can give billions to war, to spending it on other countries that has no benefit to us, just to bailing out big companies, to bailing out Ford, to bailing out the banks, wasting billions of dollars, and not give any money to our future scientific research, which essentially is what makes a country good. It develops products, it creates jobs, but you don't want to give it to science research. Somehow scientific research is excluded from everything else. Somehow it's not as important as war. All right, he says next, Romney is more likely to fund research than Ron Paul. That is for sure. Yeah, this is because Ron Paul does. This is because Ron Paul not only can read the Constitution and understand it, he means it when he takes an oath to uphold it. Please tell me where the Constitution provides for money to be taken from the American people and given to scientific research. I think I covered that pretty well before. I don't even want to talk about that, especially when the Constitution, where in the Constitution it says provide money for scientific research. Where in the Constitution does it say provide money for healthcare or war or giving money to big businesses? The U.S. Constitution, or the whole U.S. principle founded by the Founding Fathers, is to listen to the people, to do what it can to help them. It's not about specifically what it states in the Constitution, because the Constitution can be interpreted to mean whatever a person wants to mean, pretty much. It's just like the Bible. People could say it's metaphoric. Of course, it was. I mean, everything in every law, like privacy, well, that usually just means privacy. But look, because look at what it's doing now. The government, we have our privacy is being eliminated pretty much, whether in the streets, traffic signs or traffic cams, our schools. They're adding new cams in schools, and then in airports they can take pictures of us naked. Where's the privacy security in that? So the Constitution is like a guideline. It's not, if it's not specifically stated in there, then it's not going to happen. Scientific research is not something. It's something you would do to help to make the country better. Other countries are do it. Look at Switzerland. They have the Large Hadron Collider. The U.S. could have had that, but some dumb guy in Congress was like, "Why do you need this? Why do you need this atom smasher?" And then one of the scientists said, to discover the Higgs boson. Well, the guy couldn't see the significance in discovering the Higgs boson, because it's not just discovering the Higgs boson. You're discovering everything in between, from teleportation to everything that made our world what it is. I mean, without Einstein, without general relativity, we wouldn't have TVs. We wouldn't have any of the technology we have. Did he think, oh, what in the future? What is this good for? No, we went to discover it. He went to discover because he liked it, but he never really specifically discovered it for any other reason than just because he liked it. But that's what research is. You don't say, oh, this is going to give me a product. That's why so I'm going to fund you. You fund it because you're interested. It's going to have implications which we simply don't understand yet. So that's some of his responses. Kind of unreasonable to me, obviously, and I stuttered a lot. Oh well. Right. You guys have any suggestions for this cough? I think talking so much just a few minutes ago just is making my throat really itchy. All right.